Kevin O'Connell has just dropped a massive bombshell on the Minnesota Vikings, touching on Sam Darnold and a crazy quote after winning Coach of the Year. I'm going to be breaking this down, going over what this means going forward for the Minnesota Vikings, and really breaking down what all of this is about here in this video. Very quickly, before we get into this news, though, we know that 91% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. We're nearly at 1K, and that is the goal, to get that before we see the NFL draft. Your support's been absolutely incredible, and we appreciate it very, very much. But let's get into this quote right now. Dave Burkett from Twitter here is saying this: Kevin O'Connell in his Coach of the Year news conference, our goal is to win a championships, and Sam Darnold is going to be a huge part of it when we do it. Sure sounds like the Vikings want to ride with Darnold next year. Now, this was an absolutely insane thing that just dropped. And we have another quote here from Kevin O'Connell, kind of going over, being local media really asked everything about what this quote was. A lot of people started to lose their minds on Twitter when we saw this quote go down, including me, kind of really taken back by this. And this is what Kevin O'Connell had to say. Let's not waste any time. Bear with me. This is a very big quote. He says, I don't necessarily think that was 100% accurate. It was in the spirit of answering a question about Sam's season and what he was able to do this year. And then the follow-up in regards to what it's going to take to win a championship. Look, you guys know how I feel about Sam. He is a guy who we identified last year as someone who could come in and be successful. And really, no matter where he was before he arrived, it was about maximizing our time together. And I think that we did that. I think it was very special year for Sam, and what he earned in everybody in our league thinks he's a bona fide, legitimate starting quarterback in our league, and can win a lot of football games. He won 14 of them, so he earned the right to be a free agent. But we will continue to have ongoing dialogue and discussions with him and his representation, as well as really being really excited about JJ McCarthy and where he is at in his rehab. He's really hit the ground running as a true offseason's begun. We feel very fortunate, and even considering Daniel Jones was in that quarterback room, as well as Brett Rypien and Nick Mullins, I talked about it all season long, the depth. Now we got to see what this room is really going to look like as we try and put together the best possible team for 2025. That's really what the answer should have been, and probably closer to that. That doesn't take away from my feelings about Sam Darnold or what I believe he accomplished this year, and how proud I was to be right alongside him. And now this was a very big quote here from Kevin O'Connell. Sorry, to get this back on track and really say where he was at, because when we're seeing what he originally said, saying, hey, Sam Darnold's going to be a big part of winning the future, Vikings fans went crazy, and rightfully so. But great quote here from Kevin O'Connell, really bring it back, but still a very notable thing, saying that, we're not out of discussions with Sam Darnold. We're not out of discussions with, any of these guys. Daniel Jones being here, with, of course, JJ McCarthy. We're excited about him, but the fact that there's still ongoing discussions revealed by Kevin O'Connell here, but still kind of putting it out there that, he's a big part of this team still, still technically going to be a free agent. He's deserved the right to be so because of how good he played for a majority of the season. He's going to be making quite a bit of money, and many other teams are going to be looking for somebody who can win those type of games, and Sam Darnold is that guy. And of course, with Kevin O'Connell, how he felt about Sam, how Sam felt about Kevin, there's of course going to be a lot of love there for years to come, as long as Sam Darnold's in this league, as long as Kevin O'Connell is in this league. And, of course, has been a really big piece of what this Vikings team is going to be turning into this season. Whether or not directly, we've seen that Sam Darnold put this team 14-3, made to the playoffs, with exceeding every expectation that has been set for this Vikings team. And the fact that we got to this point, that we're going to continue through this point, and the fact that the Vikings now are still going to be pushing for that, even though we were in the midst of what we guess we can call a rebuild, really has advanced the Minnesota Vikings, likely a few seasons in this rebuild aspect of it. But when it does come down to it as well, we can look at Sam Darnold's contract, and, $40 million of or a market value of $40 million, I should say, would be a major chunk of the Minnesota Vikings available cap space, which is currently $61 million, and that is the 7th most in the NFL. And, that money is going to have to be allocated, and that's no surprise. That's something that me and Griffin have mentioned in just about every video that we've put up since the end of the season, is that we have the entire secondary pretty much to be re-signed. We're going to need a running back, whether or not that be Aaron Jones once again, whether or not that be someone in the draft. We're going to need, some other assets, likely an entire offensive line, I should say, and then an edge rusher maybe, or, another linebacker, something along the lines of what we're going to be seeing there. is the broad outline, the broad paint strokes of how the Vikings are going to have to make this season count and make this offseason really get to the point where we find all the success. And being able to have 61 million right now certainly allows that with JJ McCarthy's current contract. But when you take away 40 million of that, leaving you at 21 million, that is a very tough thing to do, especially with Byron Murphy likely going to have to be re-signed, and or actually likely going to be the one re-signed. Hopefully, is what we're going to see out of that. Cam Bynum as well, and many other players are going to be in contention for those contract extensions, and we don't want to take that away from them, and you really don't want to take it away from Sam Darnold either. But when you also kind of go into what we're looking at with JJ McCarthy's contract, the fact that we have a rookie contract until what is likely going to be 2028, I don't think we can really, alter that. I think that the fifth-year option will likely be picked up, and hopefully it all kind of trends in the right direction. The fact that you're at most going to have to pay until at least what we know for now for sure, $7 million, will help this team so much to be able to build around them. And, no, I don't want to say no shade to Sam Darnold because it's not his fault that he played so good, but the contract that he's earned himself really has not helped himself with a chance with the Vikings, although the Vikings would love to have him back, and I'm sure he would love to stay with the Vikings, but it just so happened to be a very tough business decision for both sides to be able to do so. Likely wouldn't be here too long with the Vikings if he were to sign, which Sam Darnold likely would want to have that long-term contract, get that money locked down, but we drafted J.J. McCarthy for a reason. You drafted him to be your quarterback. You drafted him to be able to have the liberty of building around him and being able to use that cap space that you wouldn't have to sign a quarterback with to be able to sign people that would be in his benefit. So of this, it certainly is a very big decision to make, but Kevin O'Connell said it best that there are still no decisions made yet, a lot that are going to be leaning in certain directions, and the fact that he clarified what he meant by that was certainly a big sigh of relief, I guess we can say, for Vikings fans, that the decision is not going to be rushed. But with one final thing as well, kind of wanted to give a shout out to some former and current Vikings players and staff here on the Thursday night, that very, very late video, so I do apologize for that. But the league hosted the NFL Awards where multiple players and coaches received awards. That includes Kevin O'Connell, who won Coach of the Year. O'Connell wasn't the only one nominated for an award, however. Brian Flores finished second in the Assistant Coach of the Year voting. Former defensive end Jared Allen was named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Sam Darnold finished third in AP Comeback Player of the Year. So a very good showing for Minnesota here in the awards tonight. Congratulations to Jared Allen. Congratulations to all of these guys here. Second and third, that's nothing to scoff about as well. Those are some very, very big, accolades to definitely take into the next season, especially for Sam Darnold, especially for Brian Flores, especially for Kevin O'Connell, and of course Jared Allen getting that Hall of Fame. Absolutely fantastic. So let me know what you think about Kevin O'Connell had to say here, because this is certainly something that is going to be talked about for a few weeks, and something that I think a lot of people are going to be very, very surprised by, who maybe have missed this tonight, who may wake up and see this news, may shock a lot of people to be awake tomorrow morning. So let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you think, of course, about the very long quote and clarification from Kevin O'Connell about this topic. But that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. Remember, on the road to 1K, we're very, very close, and that'd be incredible if we could hit that. Me and Griffin very much appreciate all of your support. But like I said, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great night. See you later.